Newly released body camera footage shows Montgomery County, Maryland police officers berating and handcuffing a very, very dangerous person, a 5-year-old who had run away from school. So the video is 51 minutes long. Obviously, we can't show you the entirety of the video, but what we can show you is exactly how certain children, even as young as 5, are treated in this country by police. Take a look.
I got you. Listen to me. How old are you? How old are you?
5.
5. You feel like you can make your own decisions? Huh? You feel like you can do what you want? Are you an adult? Are you 18? So why are you outside of school? Look at me. Why are you out of school? Oh, my life if I tried to do some stuff like that. I would have been beat 9 times before I got home. Don't nobody want to hear that. Get out of the car now.
I can't understand. I just let you just go.
Because you're making your situation that much worse for you. When you get home, your mama's gonna have something to say to you, okay? I'm gonna talk to your parents too. You know why? Because you bad.
Later in the video, the mother is told that she needs to discipline her children by using physical methods of disciplining them, hitting them. The mother is suing the police department, which I think she absolutely 100% should do. Again, we're talking about a 5-year-old child here who ran away from school. I remember being 5, first day of kindergarten. I remember being terrified. I remember crying. I remember trying to run away, but not being able to. The idea of treating a child like that because they ran away from school at the age of 5 is just, it goes beyond just saying it's ridiculous. I mean, this is what policing children has turned into. Like, children shouldn't be policed like this, clearly. And Cenk, before I go to you, I just wanna go to one more video because this is what really hit me to my core, okay? The kind of messaging that these kids are dealing with, living with, and growing with, and how damaging that is to their futures. Take a look.
What I'm going to do is we're going to have you.
Know what? Sit down.
2008 Cadillac.
Sit down. When you get older, when you want to make your own decisions, you know what's gonna be your best friend? These right here. You know what these are? These are handcuffs. You know what they're for?
You wanna go with Uncle Berto at?
Huh? You know what these are for? These are for people that don't want to listen and don't know how to act.
You wanna go with Uncle Berto
That's
at?
what that is.
Yeah, putting handcuffs on him and telling this 5-year-old that handcuffs will be his best friend. Yeah.
So
go ahead, Cenk.
There's 2 issues here. One is we over police everything. When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like nails. And so when all you have is the handcuffs, even 5-year-olds look like potential criminals. So I've got 2 kids. They were 5 years old. And for those of you who don't have kids, it might be hard to tell. I'm kind of hazy on. What did I do when I was 3? What did I do when I was 5? When I was 8? What's the difference? No, 5-year-old, there's no way they know what the hell's going on, okay? To traumatize that kid like that, it just makes no sense at all. My 8-year-old would be devastated by a fraction of that, let alone a 5-year-old, right? So they're not even coming close to accomplishing their mission, even if their mission made any sense, right? Of scaring the kid straight. So the second issue is a cultural one. In this case, it's not racial. It's an older generation, and it's a little bit more Southern. It's not exclusively Southern, but there's a culture among both whites and blacks in this country, and like I said, especially in the South, where they think corporal punishment is the way you're supposed to do things. That you're supposed to physically beat up your kids. You remember Adrian Peterson, the legendary running back, got into trouble for beating his kid with a switch, would tear a piece of his skin off, okay? And And so that's what these cops are doing. They're just doing what they were taught, right? And what happened to them. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't make it 1% right. In fact, what I want to explain to folks is, for God's sake, just because it happened to you or it used to happen doesn't make it right. You have to think through, was that a good rule or a bad rule? Did that make sense or did it not make sense? Beating 5-year-olds never made any sense. So saying, I wouldn't have gotten beaten 9 times. I'm sure that's true. And how'd that work out, right? So, and were you happy about it? Did that give you, like psychological comfort? No, of course, it's a disastrous idea. But unfortunately, a lot of people get stuck in old ways. Like if it's an old rule, it must be tradition and it must be good. No, most of the old rules suck. And so stop traumatizing these kids. And I want to say one more thing that's important. The mom said, they said to her, hey, why don't you beat him, right? And she said, if I did, I'd get arrested. She's actually right. Like maybe the cops wouldn't get arrested because they're cops, right? But if they caught her beating her kids, she'd be in a world of trouble. And that goes back to over-policing. We just arrest everybody. We arrest you if you're a 5-year-old, we arrest you if you're the 5-year-old's mom who beat the 5-year-old like we told you to beat. So it just, there's no winning, there's no winning. So obviously this is not how a society that is open to change and developing and being humane should operate.
Yeah, and I want to read you the exact quote from the cop who told the mother to beat her 5-year-old son, because this is what she said. Oh my God, I'd beat him so bad. She said loud enough for the child to hear before speaking to him directly. You do not embarrass me like this at school. So, and by the way, they continued, as the mother was there, they continued criticizing her parenting techniques. Because apparently if you're not beating your 5-year-old son, you're not parenting correctly, according to these cops. We're lucky that at least cops aren't doing like parent training sessions. Our society might actually be more violent than it already is.
I can't believe people do it. I got kids. The idea of hitting them is just unimaginable. We used to be so brutal to one another and to our own kids. You don't have to do what was done to you. Did you enjoy it? Did it make you a better person? None of that is true. For God's sake, have the courage to rethink dumb old rules.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.